Ish.
comments. Hey, everybody, welcome to the damn show. So we are back for another Saturday. Oh my God, this pollen is jacking me up, y'all. Sorry. Yes.
Almost took your eye out right there.
Right. So we are going to be talking about all things like sex and kink and canna, the 3 C's or 3 K's, however you want to spell it, whatever you do. Anyway, so we are open and open-minded here. So our guest tonight is Kimi Levadge. And also, so before we introduce you all to Kimi, Aunyx, Zahirah, y'all want to say hi to everybody? What's going on?
Yes.
How y'all been?
Listen, I'm so excited about this topic tonight because, I've been kind of like trying to be kinky. I can't wait to tell you. Yeah, basically, I'm trying to find my kink. But yeah, I'm Zahirah. You know me. I'm so happy to be here with y'all. Welcome back to the damn show, everybody. That's you, boo.
On you, Aunyx. It's on you.
You all right? Your allergies get you too?
The pollen is trying to kill me, like, for real.
It's real.
I'm Aunyx, longtime allergy sufferer, and also very excited about this. We'll talk about stuff later, but I'm super excited to learn what Miss Kimi has to share with us. So, Miss Fox, if you want to take it away.
All right. So as I said before, our guest tonight is Kimi Levadge, a V for Vadge. Yay. So hi, Kim. Say hi to the people. Tell us who you are.
Hi, people. So my name is Kimi. I am a sex educator. I've been doing this for about a decade now. And basically my job is to help adults with their intimacy issues, or if they're looking to improve upon a certain area, I help them with that. And a lot of times we talk about kinks too, so that's one of my favorite topics. And cannabis, of course.
So, is there anything, do you all have any burning questions you would like to ask before we dive in? Zahirah, you look like you want to say something, so we'll go ahead.
No, I'll be honest. I was doing some research on you, so I had checked you out a little bit, and I was like, "Ooh, she has an OnlyFans," and so I was ready. I was ready to see something, right? I was ready to see something, and then I was a little disappointed. Because when I got there, she was like, "You can come listen to me." I was like, "No, I want to see something." But I also feel like, people automatically think that when something is about sex, it's about seeing the goods, right? And so I'm not surprised that when I went to your OnlyFans, it was about like having a conversation about how you get to see the goods. So that's exciting too. And I would love to hear more about your perspective or your experience about how cannabis helps, hinders, whatever in the bedroom.
So to touch on the OnlyFans, I actually paused it for a second because some of the requests I was getting in there were a little bit strange. So
listen, we all of us, let me tell you something. We all work in the cannabis space. We also work in other spaces, and all of us have had some weird ass kinky sex requests related to our businesses. So like art, body care, candles, people will try you. Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you really hear what I'm saying though? I think you know.
Been tried.
You're like, you want me to do what?
Yeah, it was like you shit on a piece of paper for me, please? And I'm just like,
I wasn't ready.
not
Okay.
now. I can help you with that.
I was not ready. Somebody really
Yeah.
came to you and asked you to shit on a piece of paper.
Yeah, and the strangest part is that I don't advertise my OnlyFans, so it's only people who know me or people who follow my Instagram
Everybody
or
know now
people.
you're on the damn show.
Well, that's fine. They're gonna be disappointed too. I was putting a lot of little nude, like cute nudies and stuff on there, but then when the requests started coming in, it was like, can y'all just ask me for something regular, like to see my vagina? No,
I know
you
that's
want to
why.
see beauty?
Let me
You want to
show
see
you the sugar bowl.
okay, like I'm okay with that, but I'm not shitting on the paper, y'all. Like that's a little outside of my comfort zone. So I'm going back to it, but I had to focus on getting this place up and running. So I kind of
Okay, what place is this? Since you brought that
oh,
up,
and I
what
can't spin
place?
my camera around, or else everything will fall. But I opened my own shop, so now I have all the intimacy
Woo!
products in one place.
First of all, congratulations. That is a
Yeah.
big deal. All right.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you. I also want to say hi to a couple of people who are watching with us right now. Angela and Monique, thank you for joining us this evening.
Miss Daisy.
Miss Daisy.
That's Angela, y'all.
So
So you just opened a space. What is going
Yeah.
on? Like, where are you in the process?
So
Are
I
we
mean,
ready
I'm
to
pretty much yeah. It's I did a soft opening. It's been about 2 weeks, so people have been coming in here every day, and I have two partners. One of them does dental cosmetic dentistry, so she does like tooth gems, whitening, and then my other partner she makes and sells lingerie. So it's all adult based services, and now people can shop without like creepy people in the peep show room in the sex shop and things like that. It's supposed to be more comfortable and more safe. So hopefully
okay.
I can facilitate that for them.
And so when we think about comfort, I heard like two keywords that kind of made my ears perk up. Like, is this a space that is like dedicated to for women specifically? I'm just curious, or is it for like all people who identify regardless of their gender? Because I know for me sometimes, as a woman, I don't always feel comfortable going to some spaces because I feel like they're not for me. Not even like as a Black woman, just like a woman, like that ain't for me.
Right. And that's the reason why it's for everyone, but it's more of like an intimate space. All the sex shops that I've ever been to have been huge, and they have like some areas that are kind of dark and dank where okay, I'm not going in that corner, even though what I want is over there. I'm not going. So it's more like it's well lit. I don't feel like I'm in a seedy back alley. So everybody can come here, but it's primarily for women, of course, and for women like us, because some of these spaces aren't for us. You go in those stores and you feel like, okay, maybe I gotta walk through a metal detector.
I have a question. I have not been to a sex store in a really long time, especially since the pandemic, right? I really can't remember the last time I ventured out. I always feel like they're on the side of the highway or they're like in some like downtown area. Like I feel like what you're describing is like this posh place that's like it's kind of like the epitome. I'm making this up, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm doing it today, y'all. I feel like it's like the Starbucks of like a sex shop. Maybe Starbucks is not the right word, but you feel what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I get what you mean. It's more like a bougie sex shop. And I could say
yes,
yes.
I like it. Yes.
I could say yes. The price points are pretty much the same because I frequented a lot of sex shops in my day. So I try to keep it kind of parallel, if not lower, because they do hike up the prices to like obscene amounts. And then we're gonna have a sip and shop. You can come in dressed up and cute. You don't have to worry about like, do I need to bring my razor blade when I'm going in there?
Oh, shoot.
I guess it's less of a McDonald's and more of a Starbucks. So I can agree with that.
Yes, but yeah, McDonald's. So I just want to say, I see that we have a brother in the house joining us and listening in on the conversation. I want to say peace to Hanif over there. Okay, I can't wait to come visit. I'm ready. I want to come visit.
What state, what city, where is it?
Yeah, give us all the
I'm
details.
in Florida, so it's in Tamarack, which is like not quite Fort Lauderdale, but not quite West Palm Beach. We're probably about 20 minutes from Miami. So
Nice.
it's
Girl, I
pretty
can't
simple.
drive to Florida. I'm gonna have to get on a
She at
plane.
the beach,
Come
y'all.
on
Y'all hear that?
down.
All I hear is the beach.
So
Okay, and it's
I will
warm.
say
Road
this
trip.
There's
too.
a beach about 10 minutes
Right.
away. So
So
yeah.
you know what just got launched? They announced it last week. Y'all already know what I'm gonna say because I've already been talking about it.
What?
But the Grand Prix is going to be
Oh
in
yes.
Miami.
Oh,
2022.
yeah. Yeah, I
Yes,
think it's
Formula
gonna be at
One is
Dolphin
coming
Stadium. Yeah.
back to Miami. So I'm
Uh-huh.
excited. I'm like putting it already on the calendar. Like, let's
Yeah.
go. So yes. So we'll have to
I'm a pro
also
street
look at
race girl,
stock.
but I don't mind a little rally racing sometimes. So
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Well,
So
you
now
know,
you
Looking
got
you
forward
two
to
can
know
days
the
to
in the
work
weather
box.
with
with me.
local businesses.
Oh, this
Oh
is
yeah. I don't know if they're how they're gonna receive mine, but I'm gonna be there waving my little flag. So
as you should.
have a little penis and vagina on there, like yeah.
So what I'm curious about, I heard that you said you've been in the sex therapy profession for over 10 years. Did I hear that right?
Yes.
All right. So can you tell us a little bit what that looks like? Like, why do people come to sex therapy? How is it helpful? Like, what does it do? Like, are you teaching people how to figure out the movements in the bedroom? Are you like, it's not probably really not that I'm being extra right now. Don't mind me. Or
No, it
having
is.
conversations about how to get to the movements in the bedroom.
So it's actually a combination of all of that. I actually started sexological body work training pre-pandemic, but then I had to put it on pause because we have to touch people, and that's
Mm.
not happening right now. So I do have discussions with them about actual physical motion because there are people who have mobility issues and they need help. You know, they might be wheelchair bound or they might have something like muscular dystrophy. And we discuss ways that they can leverage what they do have to give them the pleasure that they need. So we might talk about maybe you need a harness so that you can distribute your body weight better. Or maybe your partner needs to be a little bit more versed in manual stimulation if you're wheelchair bound, for example. So it's a lot about the physical parts, but some of it is about the mental parts too. It's trauma and how we're working through that. Or I've been raped before or assaulted before, and we work around those spaces as well. So it gets a little deep sometimes, but as of late, it's mostly people are stressed and they're looking for a healthy outlet, and sex is a free outlet for most people. And they're looking, they're looking for ways to incorporate it more or improve what they have going on, especially if they've been on lockdown and they might be sick of their partners or they might not have a partner or their partner lives in a different state. And we're discussing how to make it work in the current state that we're in.
Mm.
I love that.
That was
That's
a lot.
She kind of answered one of my questions, but we're talking about, partners and therapy. Do you do one-on-ones for intimacy or self fulfillment? Self.
I
I
love
do a
these
lot
words
of
that we're making up
couples
as we go
coaching.
along.
I know. Dancing around this.
Right. So I do a lot of couples coaching sessions. I'm not at therapy level yet because I'm still doing my licensing. But as far as coaching, we do have a lot of conversations about how to maybe get used to each other in this new space where people are working from home. There's no buffer in between seeing them when you wake up and seeing them when it's time to go to bed. And sometimes that lowers their desire to have sex. So there's a lot of new questions coming up because this is such an unprecedented thing. But we do have a lot of discussions about couples play, how to change it up, what to do if you guys aren't getting along in the same space, but you're still together, which is sometimes a messy situation. And a lot of other questions that I can say I've never been asked before. And now they're coming in as new case studies that I can probably use sometime later on down the line. So it's
So
been very interesting.
How is it for people to come to sex therapy and see somebody that looks like you there, which is something we don't typically see in our
If they
community?
found me on an unusual channel, they may not have seen me. And then what the name I'm using is not my legal professional name. So when they actually have to make the appointments, they're like, oh, sounds kind of ethnic. And then when I actually turn on the camera, it's like, hi
You're
guys. And
like,
they're
hi,
like,
it's me.
okay, hello, person. So sometimes it's a shock for them. It's not a shock for me. I have helped people of many different ethnicities and racial groups. I have people for some reason in India. I don't know how they're finding me, but I get a lot of people reaching out from India. They pay the same as everybody else, but so it's not a surprise for me, but sometimes it is for them depending on how they found me. But I have heard from a lot of my Black clients that they are more relieved because they feel more comfortable. And then sometimes we have conversations that other people might not understand. So it helps to be able to unpack all the things that you're going through with someone who may have experienced some of it or who at least just looks more comfortable when you're having the conversation. So
So do you find
hopefully,
that like culture sometimes shapes the conversations too?
yes, yes. A lot of people in maybe from the islands, they might have certain viewpoints that others do not. People from the States might have viewpoints that others do not. And then people overseas are definitely usually more conservative. So they have a lot of questions about things that would be probably normal to American folks. So yeah.
Hmm. Interesting. It's like cannabis and sex ed kind of runs a parallel stream in terms of stigmas.
Oh
Would you
yes,
say?
because they're
Ooh.
both one of those like dirty word type of conversations, and it's like, oh, you use weed, you smoke it, and depending on who you're talking to, you would think weed was crack, and it's like it's just a plant. Like,
It's a plant. It's a flower.
do you like
Yeah.
burdock? Do you like ginger? Do you like turmeric? Well, those all come out the ground, and they all have really strong properties that help people medicinally, just like cannabis. It's just they don't get you high, and that's basically the only difference. And if you say weed in the wrong groups, it's like they allow you to have a license and you use marijuana. Yeah, because I read my books just like everybody else.
Right.
Yeah, I just might have been a little happier than they were, and that's all. So
Yeah.
they do go hand in hand, and then they're both beneficial to each other. So I like bringing them together whenever I can. Some people don't want to hear it, but then there's some people like, I never thought of that before. I never thought to use weed in my bedroom. Oh well, come in. We got a lot to talk about.
So for folks who might like be holding on to like a stigma about cannabis or have not used cannabis or have not explored using cannabis in the bedroom, what are a couple of examples of what that could potentially look like? Like,
Usually, I will start with the least conventional. Well, for most people, for us, probably not. But topical is usually what I would lead with because people don't know you don't have to smoke it. Like, I think a lot of people, when they hear cannabis or if they hear it in the dirty word of weed or marijuana, they expect Bob Marley to walk in with like a chalice and be like smoking up the room. And it doesn't have to
right,
be
right.
like that. So I usually start with topical because people don't even know that that's an option. You can rub it on your skin. You will not get high. You can take a clean blood test or pee test tomorrow at work, and you can still get what you need from it. And then we can ease into the conversation of eating it or taking it as a capsule or smoking it if you feel so inclined. Because if you can smoke a Newport, why can't you smoke a blunt? So
Mhm.
it's usually a segue into the other methods, but I often start with topical because most of the time it will solve the issues that they're trying to rectify.
So what do you tell people is like as far as cannabis being an aphrodisiac and how it can help them in their
Mm.
That's
bedroom tango
actually
life?
one of my favorite things to discuss, usually with individuals who are being treated for anxiety a lot of times, especially in the trauma realm where it's like I have a problem getting intimate with my partner because what I've gone through has been hindering me in some sort of way. So usually I will suggest, well, have you tried edibles, for example? In a small enough dosage, you might find that your anxiety is relieved a bit, and then you can use that to start your conversations around intimacy. Not even the actual physical part where you have sex, but just to talk about what you've been going through with your partner. This might open up a door that you didn't have before. And it'll be like, oh, I never thought about that. But how am I going to talk to them if I'm high? That's where dosing comes in. If you're not trying to get zooted and then you're just having incoherent conversations, we want you to microdose or have a small dose and give yourself some time to let it work, and then you can start having these conversations. And so that's pre-sex, but we'll move into the sex part after that. I hope that makes sense, because I may or may not have had it.
That be me. That's me. I be just like that. I feel you. I know, honey. But
no, what I'm saying is it, and then I'm like, wait a minute, what did I say?
No, it made perfect. It made perfectly good
sense.
sense.
Okay, I feel better.
All right, everybody. Everybody gets okay. You know what that means.
Everybody's stuff is kicking in. That's what that means.
It's a fun, same feelings. It's like the pleasure principles. It's like, how is that relationship? I guess it's like I'm just imagining, visualizing it, remembering. So it's like listening to you.
I feel so limited now in my cannabis experience of intimacy. She was like, rub it on me, baby. I'm like, I was like, let's just pass some line. Like, you got a COVID test. I got a COVID test. Good over here. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
You never know these days.
Listen, it's such a gamble even going outside right now. So test on, baby.
We were like, the way that everybody's sharing their that they got their COVID vaccination. I was like, why aren't people waving around their STI screenings the same way? Like, I got mine and I'm good.
They don't have it.
Right.
You'll be like, test please, and they'll be like, I got my COVID vaccine though.
Right.
The new pickup line, and I've seen it. I've seen it is you can come over, I'm vaccinated, or like let's hang it out, I'm vaccinated. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, that sounds enticing. Well, what about that full panel though?
Yeah.
It's in the mail.
Yes. We promote safe everything. Safe. Right. Just interspaces. Yes, interspaces with conversation and education. Informed.
I try my best not to like shame anyone, because it's like, all right, you're gonna go outside whether I tell you it's unsafe or not. So if you can't be safe, be careful. Have fun. I won't be there. Call me on Zoom, I guess.
Now, we did talk about we talked about your physical space. Is there any products that you have on your website that people might be able to purchase for shipping?
Well, once the website is back up, they will be able to purchase it online. Right now, I have links on Instagram where they can still purchase through PayPal, but my site had to come down so that we could renovate it, so to speak. And then I was on another sales channel, but they took me down because of the cannabis content. So they hated it. I won't say which one, but they kicked me out.
We're going to share it later, but can you tell people how they can find you, how they can get in touch with you?
Yes. So once the site is back up, it's vforvadge.com. It will also direct them to the shop site, which is shop.vforvadge.com. But right now, I'm primarily on Instagram, which is Kimi Levadge. And then for the cannabis content, it's Kimi Playthings. That way I keep them separate in case the feds come take me out.
So in my research, I saw that you have a podcast. Like, when does that happen? How long have you been doing that? Because I'm nosy. What you be talking about?
It's usually every month. I have a production team that's going to be coming to the shop and recording me here now, because everything I was doing before was kind of bootleg, and now I'm trying to get it more upgraded. Yes, so they'll be coming here, and then we'll be doing it bi-weekly after that.
Cool.
And
So
what's the
now. What's that?
I don't think you told us the name.
Oh, it's called The V Word, and it's on SoundCloud. Once we start with the production team, it'll be on all platforms, but right now it's strictly on SoundCloud.
And it's called what? The V
The
Word?
V Word. There's one with some white ladies on it. That's not me. Mine is the one with the black.
Was that a little shade? Was that a little shade? All right. So if you are just joining in with us, we are here with Kimi Levadge, and she is giving us all the information on cannabis and sex and love and all that good stuff. And also, like, mental health. I got that right. And so if you watching and you got some questions, this will be a good time to drop us a comment and to get some feedback from her.
That's right. Sex as self-care.
If you got a real specific question, I don't want you putting all your business out there. Put it in a DM.
Right.
About those offline.
And if you're too shy to ask a question, just go ahead and put it in the DMs too, because it's okay. It's okay. We ride with the free spirits and the pearl collectors, so we got love for you.
I get those too.
Well, I thought you was going to say something else when you said pearl. I don't know.
Oh shoot! My mouth. Oh Lord Jesus.
So I guess just survey questions. So does anybody, how do you all feel? Not even a survey. See, this is what happens when you have stuff before the show starts.
She thought she was at work and she said survey. I'm just thinking at you. That is so like. All right.
Like, how do y'all feel about elevated sex?
Is there any other way?
Right. Like that's the best.
I can't. I find it to be amazing. I usually save it for when I'm on vacation, only because I tend to get a little loud. And then I don't know if I'm being loud, It's like, am I whispering? Can you hear me? And then I find out I'm yelling.
I can't with
you. Are outside. Or the kids
I heard you all the way down the street, okay? And she said, am I whispering? Oh my goodness.
Yeah. No, I save extreme elevation for vacation, but on a daily basis, it's nice when you don't have kids at home to disturb you.
Be blocking
all the
time. I'm hiding in the closet.
That's funny. So yeah, if you've had too much, I guess, and you're overwhelmed, what in those moments, what do you do?
You mean while I'm having sex?
With the elevated, it's like, what would you coach your clients into being like? What in those moments? What do you do?
If they're feeling too high, I usually just suggest that they try to be still, because a lot of times if you do too many things, like don't go and try to find some remedy to take you down. It's probably too late. It's not gonna work. Yeah, you could try to go drink some lemon or whatever else is out there, but it's probably not gonna work. And now you're gonna be stressed, and then you're further metabolizing the THC by running to the kitchen or wherever you're gonna go. Just sit down and ride the wave. And if the more you move, you're gonna let the wave ride you, and now you're gonna be screwed. So be still, close your eyes, try to think of something nice, where you'd rather be than where you are right now, and then give it time to pass through, and then it wears off with time. But a lot of times people do too much, and then it just gets worse and worse. Lay down, take a nap, or do something boring.
See, I was about to tell her myself, I've had experiences where I've been too elevated and I just go to sleep. We done.
Right.
Ain't nothing happen. We out.
I'm just going to lean back in the couch and talk to myself for a couple hours and I'll be fine. But people will be calling their friends. Now they're hearing voices. And it's like, no, don't do that. Just go lay down. Take a minute. Don't watch Family Guy because now you have a nightmare.
Yep. Fox, you look like you got a question, girl.
Where is she?
She elevated.
It's a combination of things at this point. So yeah, it's day drinking.
Oh yes,
and
that was me yesterday.
So yeah,
that's a good place to be. I will say that.
It really is. It really, really is.
I'm trying to think. I'm like, what would you say is the most challenging part for you of running a sex education business? Like, what is the most challenging issues you run into?
I think for me, it's being Black and running a sex education business. A lot of people, especially people who are not Black, tend to fetishize Black women. So when they hear sex, then they see me and then they see the content that I'm sharing. If they, God forbid, they see that I have breasts, it's like, oh, she's selling. Oh, no, Gucci's not for sale. I'm actually selling coaching services. I sell products. I don't sell me, but I will still get propositioned. It happens on a weekly basis, and I have to turn people down all the time. And then I also get, well, it's not necessarily good, but I get requests to be a dom for people.
I knew it. I knew she was going to say that.
I guess because of the content and the information that I provide, and I do sell kink products, so people automatically assume I'm out here doing it too, which I have, but I don't. So I have to decline a lot. But most of the time, it's people pretending they need my services so that they can show me their dicks.
We know all about that.
It's not just the sex world.
So, you were talking about kink, right? We're talking about cannabis. We're talking about like microdosing, sometimes being too elevated. Like, what are some good practices for cannabis in the bedroom when it comes to like, let's say like shibori? Am I saying that right? Shibori. I'm probably tearing it up right now.
With the
right?
ropes?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So with rope play, I suggest moderating the high, because the person that's actually doing the tying needs to be cognizant enough to A, tie you properly, and B, untie you. So, and then, there's other activities happening in between. There might be actual sex. There might be some bondage going on. There might be some spanking going on or flogging. And you want to make sure whoever is in control of that is able to conduct it in a safe way. If they're too high and they're not paying attention, or if they're too high and they can't gauge how much force they're using, it can go left very quickly. So gauging how you feel, getting high before you start is usually a good idea, because once if you're doing the activity and then you start getting high, there's no way to regulate it at that point. So at least you need to get there first, know how you feel, and then you start, just to be safe. People don't always follow that instruction, and they will come back later with horror stories most of the time. But I think if you meter yourself, with edibles, I usually suggest what I call the 420 rule. Whatever the thing is, take a fourth of it and give it 20 minutes to kick in before you start doing anything else. At least that way, after the 20 minutes, it's metabolized somewhat, and you can go, okay, I feel good. I know where I am still. I can handle the next dosage, or I can just get started, and then you can go from there. But if you're doing too much, taking too many bong rips or eating too much, then when you actually get into it, it's like, fuck, what am I doing? Like, why? How did we get here?
I didn't sign up for this.
Right. What is my safe word? I don't even remember anymore. And then it gets weird, because now it's like, is there going to be consent issues? How do I tell them to stop if I don't remember what the hell I'm doing? Did I ask him to tie me up? Like, I don't even know. So I would say just regulate your high first and then get started. That would be my first suggestion.
Okay.
Mhm.
And do it with somebody you trust too, because that can also get very weird. Wake up
I
and your
would,
wallet's missing.
oh shit, I would hope so. Hope it's somebody you trust. Not that my wallet's missing.
Well,
And also, I don't think we said it yet, but always practice safe sex. Use
yes.
protection. Know your
People laugh
status.
at me when I say that, oddly enough.
Say
I,
what?
They do.
people laugh when I say use protection.
Oh shit.
Like
Yeah.
it's a joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Safe sex is good sex.
That's
It's like,
right.
what kind of condoms do you like? Condoms? Oh.
I'm saying, like, you cannot use condoms if you have a partner that, like, you don't have sex with anybody else. I mean, I guess
Right.
that works too.
Right.
In those cases, then the only thing you'd be concerned about is pregnancy. But some of these people be out here living real risky, and I just hope for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is triggered it like sparked a memory from DC.
Uh-oh. Let me turn my volume up. I like
No,
memories.
no, just about the condoms. It was just learning about different condom brands. Because how many people only know like Trojans? Like they don't know anything
Right.
else.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's
And
like
that's the
so when you
last one
start
that I would suggest. And that's always the first one that they know. It's like,
right
have you
Those
tried
ones are very
lifestyles? And,
irritating to
oh, and
to
they
the yoni.
smell
to
awful.
Oh
everything.
my
Ugh.
goodness, like gasoline. The
Yeah.
Burnt
veins
tires.
in the yoni smell like gasoline. Goodbye and
Right.
good day.
And
But
I'll
then
suggest
it's
it to women as an alternative. Like I'll suggest lifestyles or B condoms are actually black owned, so I'll suggest them
Oh,
too.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, and their size range is really good. So a lot of guys will be like, I can't fit these. What do you suggest? But if I suggest anything that's not Trojan, they're like, other things exist. I don't want to
yeah,
deviate.
absolutely.
Like they have stock in it. It's like try something else, and maybe she won't be mad afterwards because her coochie smells funny. Like
Right.
help her out. You're good, but help her out.
Yeah.
So I have conversations about condoms a lot, and it's usually ha ha ha. What are those? Or not Trojan? Oh my god.
Yeah. And it's like and then also when you do know more than just Trojan, it's like the stigma that kind of comes with that. It's like, well, why do you know that?
Mm.
Because I like
You know,
Mm.
take
I do research.
right.
Or
me
when
and
you
my
have
vagina
your
like
own.
having options.
I'm vegan, and did you know there's vegan condoms?
Hmm.
Yeah, there's vegan ones.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, my bad.
No, it's good. Sustain is a good vegan brand too.
Which
Their
one?
size range is not so great.
No,
Sustain,
true. Sustain,
yeah,
yes.
they're very tight for some men, but they are very ethical, and I like that.
I liked skin condoms back when I was like, in these dating streets. That
Yeah,
was that's the one I liked.
and they have XL, and it's like you don't have to smell latex. He gets to fit in it. Some of them be lying; they're not even XLs anyway. But
Right. Like everybody think they need a magnum.
right, it's like, sir, you
It's like,
don't
no,
need
you
that. It's
don't.
a little baggy.
No, you don't.
She just scalded people with that one. Somebody gonna be in their feelings.
That's okay. But you can unwrap it over there, and I won't even see that it's not gold. It's fine. It's, as long as you have it on, that's what I care about. I care about no
Yes.
Magnum, and they
Right.
smell.
Like you
So what do
wearing
I
a sweater that's too big. It's like no,
do?
it's like that's not helping anybody.
Why did you use a sweater analogy? All I saw was wool itchy.
Throwing a sausage in a trash bag. It's like, sir, just
Right.
here. I brought some here.
Oh my goodness.
Could choke me.
I'm sorry.
No, I listen. This is what we're here for, okay?
I shouldn't have eaten
I
that
mean, we
brownie.
need to be able to have these conversations too, right?
Yep.
Because how many times have you seen a group of Black women having this conversation online and it's not like something else? Do you know what I mean? So it's just like we need to destigmatize that too. It's like it's okay. That's how we all got here. Like none of us
Right.
would be here without it. So like let's have the conversation And also, it's okay for you to like it. It's okay for you to say you like it. And say what you like. Like, we need to be able to do that, and just removing all that shame and, you know, pearl clutching that comes along with all of that. So
right, there's other pearls that we should be talking about, not not this imaginary.
Maybe.
I'm saying,
I always do a quick.
hold on. I just
every
want you to
show.
know I'm still holding my pearls from someone saying they wanted you to shit on a piece of paper. I've been told that I'm a little freaky, but baby, I'm not that freaky. Sorry.
They were asking for like period panties and workout at the gym panties and defecation panties, and I'm just like,
Why? Why?
there's a space for everyone, but
hey,
this ain't mine.
what was the oh my gosh, there was like a gamer girl that sold her bath water, and
She
it
sure
sold
did.
out within like a matter of minutes.
Like, baby, I'll drink your bath water and stop you up with a biscuit type of vibe. Okay.
And she put it in a little vial.
She
and
sure
was
did.
selling her bath water.
I don't know if fermented bath water tastes good, but they can't have mine at all.
I wonder if, you know, as we move towards destigmatizing sex, if those type of requests, do you think they'll just like fall off? Like, if it becomes more of a normal, no, you think people just always
most of the time it's not the ask that's specific, it's the person they want it from. So it's like, have you always wanted my shit? Like,
I hear what you're saying.
I know you in real life. Like, why do you want my poop though? Is that a thing? Like, when you saw me, you're like, I would like to know what her shit smells like. I don't know why they want it from me, but I do wonder if they ask other people for it, because I find those to be very interesting requests.
All right, so let's talk about that, but like not specifically shit. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the ass, like some of these things that are like taboo, right? Like, I don't even know what they call. I don't even have any terminology for it, but basically you said like period panties, urine, bath water, like it's odd when it's a stranger, but if it was your boo, would you be more open to it? And should people be more open to it in the bedroom? And do you need to be high? Because it seems like it's
maybe if they ask me today, like right now, I think partner-wise, if you're on the same page, it's cool to ask your partner if they like scat. If you guys link on that level, that's fine. I don't. I've had people
see she used the word that I didn't know, but when she said it, I knew
what it meant. Okay. Scat and poop. So usually they use the term scat if you're doing it on somebody. So like people like being pooped on. So scat usually encompasses when you're doodling on people. But
not doodling. I'm sorry.
Defecating.
You don't need to use clinical terms.
I can't even keep my professional terms on right now. It's too lit.
And just like that, look like the viewers went. It went like 3, 2, 1, 0.
Noodle splat.
Sorry. All right.
You are fine.
Change
you are fine.
I'm about to tell my business.
That shit is funny. I'm trying to think. I don't want to put it to one demographic of people because it's that I'm sure that it's not. But we had an incident. I'll share it with you.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell
my husband and I, a soap company. We have a soap company, and people fetishize breast milk. We know this, right? We know this, but people also respect and use breast milk in a certain kind of way. Respect might not be the right word. You know what I mean?
Purposes, right? Breast milk is very okay. First of all, we're all moms. I breastfed for a really long time. I don't know if you breastfed, but I know I did. And if you didn't breastfeed, that's okay too. But I'm interrupting. I'm sorry, honest. But I just want to say breast milk. You said breast milk, and it took me down the path.
Yes.
It's like right. It took you down mommy path, right? Like as a mom, that's how we usually look at breast milk. We go down that way. We know that people fetishize it. Yes. So
And people make
My
money though
husband's
too.
brand of soap, a gentleman had reached out and like pretended to be a customer for a little bit. And we did the song and dance, and like immediately I knew that's not what he wanted, but I gave him the time because I needed him to like actually say it. Like I'm like, and this gotta be real. like I'm not crazy. I'm not the creep in this situation. This dude is. And he's local to us. So that also put me off. Like he's actually looking for, like, it was a real thing for him. And he requested my husband to
Milk
his wife.
I didn't want to say that, and I was waiting for Aunyx to say. Erika couldn't wait to say it. She was like,
he wanted my husband. He wanted my black husband, like obviously black dark chocolate husband, to milk his non-black wife.
To make the soap.
Nope, not even. Like we know he didn't want to make the soap, but like he was using that. Like,
are you gonna eat the soap?
Like people do make breast milk soap. Like that's not a thing. That's why I entertained it. Like maybe I was like, okay, give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he wants this.
And a lot of other skin conditions. That's normal.
Yeah.
He sounds like he wants to like blaze of glory milk bath himself, which is not so normal.
But that's what I was saying. I'm like, it doesn't matter if you're in the sex work industry. Like people bring sex to the table. Like, I mean, I'm not knocking him for trying. I just
I could see him with like a trench coat on, like at the shop window, like, you guys sell breast milk around here.
I got a good one for you since we're talking about sex and people bring it into the table, like it is not your industry. So I had this man say, can I send you a picture of me naked, right? First of all, like, I don't know. Anyways, he just wanted to send me a picture of his naked ass and paid him on a horse. And I was like, I know. Like, really? On a horse? I ain't heard from him since.
Oh, he wanted you to put him on the horse.
Yes, naked.
Oh, he wanted you to paint him.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he wanted you to see his meat.
Yeah, bro, I don't
see. I'm the weirdo that would have made that happen. Like that, I would have done.
I could
physically going in these COVID streets to touch you, no, but painting. Z, come on, you couldn't.
So you would have got a picture. You would have took the dude. Okay.
I shot dudes. I was a photographer. If people ask for stuff.
We used to just always get asked if people could use the candles, if they could pour the wax on themselves since it was coconut. And I'm like, you know what? I don't sell it as such, but yes. I'm like, but whatever you do with it when you buy it is your business. If that's
right.
If that's
you don't have any disclaimers for burns or anything. So good luck.
Have you ever been burnt with a candle? Listen, I got a scar on my leg right now. It's not good. All right. I need to know the
temporary. I didn't have a scar. It was just
I was burnt. Okay.
How did that happen? Okay, that's another day.
We know how.
I got that hot.
Who actually where the burn was though?
I told you it was on my leg.
Oh, that's leg. Okay. I count the butt as legs too, just so you know.
So laughing. And Fox, your husband paints. How many times do you get solicited for nude portraits that they don't actually want to buy?
Well, so there's two things. So there is back in the day, Jamaul did do a nude portrait of me. So it is hanging somewhere in somebody's house right now.
Yeah.
Not our house either.
That's a beautiful one.
Yeah. There's that. But yes, women do solicit him for the nude portraits, and then he tells them, well, you know, my wife handles all my bookings, but you can go through her, and then we don't hear anything else from them once it's because I mean, it's like, honestly, if somebody wants that, I don't have a problem with him doing that,
right?
You know? But he does, you know, so it's like, and he's good at it, so.
Right, I was about to say, it'll be some fire nudes. I'll be like taking pictures of my paintings to send to people instead of my actual picture.
Exactly.
Make all that bigger.
Lots of service.
Yep.
I do get people trying to solicit my husband
Okay.
because we make deliveries locally. So usually he'll make the deliveries because I'm making or I'm in the shop. And I've had a handful of men ask for him to come back to service their wives.
That brings up another question that I forgot to ask you earlier. Sorry.
By the way.
How much do you think the porn industry has skewed
That's a good question.
the perception around intimacy and sex, especially because that's immediately what I thought when you said, they were soliciting your husband. It's like, how many fucking videos, excuse my language, how many videos, pun intended, videos are about that fantasy? Like,
true.
how much
The thing is that
that's
there
a whole
are
genre.
men who, right, there is a whole
not my
genre
husband.
for that. But even pre-porn, that was a thing. Like men want to be cuckolds and they want this big black man to come and take care of their wives while they watch. And that's that's predates porn. It's actually, if we want to swing the slavery, kind of. But anyway, I won't go there. But I do have to take people out of that mindset that what they see in porn is real life, because a lot of men gauge their size on porn, a lot of women gauge their performance abilities on porn. I don't know how to squirt like that. Well, that's because it's pee, so you will never know how to squirt like that. Your penis will never be that big.
Pause. Let's tell the people, because let's back up, because that is true. Since we're all about breaking stigmas, please explain that one to the people.
So, as I do tell a lot of people, porn stars, for the most part, unless you're watching amateur porn stars are trained professionals. So they have people there. They have a whole team that is created and hired to serve them in certain ways. They have what they call fluffers that get the men erect before their scenes. So that means he didn't start off like that. He didn't look at her and go, yeah, and then immediately become this monster. Somebody's there actually getting him there, or they have pumps there. So when you're worried about getting hard in 2 minutes, it's because you watched Brian Pumper do it, or you watched Wesley Pipes do it, and they have other people there to help them with that. They have pills, they have delay spray. You don't have that at your fingertips all the time.
So talk about
delay spray. She giving us all the information. I have not heard.
We're like, over here taking notes.
Well, we got to back up one, so we'll come back to the delay spray. But tell people how the squirting is fake. Yes. Sorry, so that's what led to this whole question.
And I get that question a lot too, because like I said, a lot of women will watch porn scenes and watch these things happen, and it's like, damn, like, how is she doing that? What am I doing wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. She has drank a lot of water before the scene. She's holding on to this pee while he is smashing her organ to smithereens, and then she's releasing urine at the time when you think she's orgasming. And A, she's not orgasming. She's probably not having that great of a time. And B, that's urine. All of it is urine. Squirting often is mixed with urine, but it's not 100% pee. She's peeing. And that's the reason why your bed sheets don't look like the fireman was there, because you're not peeing. You are trying to do something that can be done. It's just not going to be in that capacity. And then it's now the conversation goes to, well, how do I do that? Oh, that was your next question?
But I want to know about the delay spray.
So there's different brands of that offer delay sprays. They have white also. So usually what the man will do is before they start having sex, he'll get himself hard and then he'll spray. They're only supposed to use one pump, but a lot of times they'll use too many, and then they don't feel anything, but they will last the whole session because they can't feel anything. So And then they never
And
want
you're
to
gonna
use it
be
again because
tired.
they right, they're just there going for hours. It's ridiculous. Like, please, no more, master. Um, so the sprays, they work. I suggest them sometimes if they have performance issues in that realm. But if you use too much, you'll just be in the emergency room trying to get help. So it's a slippery
Ooh,
slope.
don't
But
want none of
a
them
lot of times
problems.
they're using it because they see how the men are performing in these films and they think that they need to live up to that. But they don't know that these are cut scenes that have been fused together, or if he took drugs before he started. They don't see that part. So they don't understand that there's more to it than what they're looking at. It's like, you think Wesley Snipes was really jumped over that building? Or you know what I'm saying? There's
Right.
things for that. This is film.
Right.
And sometimes when you put it in perspective that way, they get it better. But it takes a long time to unlearn all of that, especially if you've been watching porn as long as I have. So, yeah.
I'm glad you clarified that.
Thank you. I'm so happy that you are here with us and just shared all these jewels. Yes.
That's what I'm here for.
So, and last question before we wrap up this evening. It's a question we ask all the guests that we have on. So it's like, when did you fall in love with the Green Goddess, and what has your journey been to get here?
So I fell in love with the Green Goddess, I would say 6 years ago. My friend's mom had cancer and she was basically at the end stages and she just wanted to not be in pain. So she asked me, this was like, I wasn't offering any cannabis products at the time. I just happened to like to bake and I know a little thing about green. And so she was like, can you make her some chocolates so she can have them while she's going through this process? So I started by making her chocolates. I was making her cookies and she was enjoying them and they were working for its intended purpose. And then she passed away. So when she passed away, I stopped making them, but people would come around and be looking for edibles or asking if they knew where to get them from. And then I started making them again, to, only to find out that I needed them myself because I was diagnosed with a neurological condition in 2017. And the condition is called trigeminal neuralgia, and it causes intense pain. I don't even know how to explain. It's like somebody took a hot comb and puts it in your head and just pulls all your nerves. And they drugged me as a treatment, but when they drug me, I can't function. They give me anti seizure medication. They give me medication for bipolar disorder, issues I don't even have. So I was like, what can I do to get through this without these pills? And then I realized, well, girl, you got weed in your house. Like, why aren't you using that? And so I started reading up on it and how it affects the nerve. And then ever since then, I don't need the pills. I have very few episodes where I need to go to the hospital or get additional treatment. And it's because I've been able to take this magical thing and treat myself with it. So even under normal circumstances where I'd be like, damn, like I don't want to be high today. Oh, but maybe I should be. And I am. But I'm not in pain. I can take care of my kids. I'm not a zombie. I can function in the regular world and I can live my life without pain. So anybody who asks about marijuana, cannabis, whatever they want to call it today, I will speak its praises, but I also explain to them that it's not for everybody. And if you're using it, make sure however you're using it is in tune with what your needs are, because you don't have to walk around being a stoner. You don't have to live the way some of us do if that's not what you want. But you can still utilize cannabis to make your life better. And I am a fan.
Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing a little bit about the challenges that you've had with your health and how it has supported you. And one of the things that stuck out to me with your answer is something that Erika and Aunyx and I talk about often, is like this idea of cannabis users are like stoners and we just sit on the couch and don't do nada. And that's not the case. And it's good to hear coming from you. Like, you can live a positive, productive life. You can get stuff done. You don't got to be laid out somewhere.
Right.
If you want to,
It's not for bums. People think it's for bums. Bums can't afford good weed. So yeah, this is for productive individuals, to be honest.
Because good weed it does cost.
Yes.
So, yes. So that is our show for today. Any closing thoughts, anyone, as we get out of here? Thanking the people for being with the damn show.
I have questions. Like, I want to ask more questions. I'm gonna hit you later, girl.
Yes.
Friends.
Yes.
This has been so much fun. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. You can catch the replay. Be sure to follow Levadge. And if this is your first time joining us, hit us on Instagram, and you can follow us on YouTube as well.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.